Okay. So there are two pieces to this, right? One is the piece about you being comfortable with what you are doing till now, and the other piece is around, should you get into a structured process based on a need that you can identify?
That's right.
Where do you want to go first?
Let's go with the most comfortable one.
Okay.
So the comfortable one is as is, what's happening with me right now. Continue to read on multiple topics, which is somewhat giving me a nice flavor of giving me multiple perspectives at the same time. I'm able to enjoy. It does not put a pressure on me in one way. I'll tell you where this pressure is coming from. Say, for example, I go to somebody's place, I go spend time somewhere, I'm traveling somewhere. I don't miss, I don't have the pressure of not carrying that book which I wanted to finish. Now, anything that's available with me, I can go pick up and read. And I don't have that problem at all. I have books in my mobile, I have books on my tab. And if on all of this, I do remember to carry my paperback book, I carry that also, right? So any of these I can actually pick up and start reading. So that way it really makes a big difference to me.
Okay.
So that's one good thing for this. And this is nice because I like my freedom in reading or anything for that matter. So this is very free for me, right? It automatically happens. Yes, I do have a disadvantage there is sometimes I pick up one book which I might have read like close to a month ago. Now, if I have to pick up on a topic, I need to go back a couple of chapters before or one chapter before at least for me to regain the whole thing. But I guess while I'm talking about it to you, it's okay. It's fine. It's part of the reading itself. Maybe something new will kind of come out of that. So I'll be in a position to kind of take it. So things seem to be falling very comfort. It's very comfortable in this process. No hurry, no rush. Don't want to create any pressure. And I enjoy reading the book, right? So that's definitely kind of helping. Okay. However, having said this, this is one thing that I have taken on myself, which is on other areas of my life, which is I have been trying to move away from my comfort zone for some time. And I've been trying to apply that to many areas of mine. And that is leaving me with this question saying, if this is what is most comfortable for you, are you in your comfort zone? Is a question that I'm actually asking myself. And the answer to that is, for a person who hasn't read books at all, for me to have come to this stage where I'm carrying so many books, I think my comfort zone was broken there. So for me, I am in the learning zone at this time. So that way, it's kind of okay, and it's fine for me that I'm answering that question very clearly for myself. That this is not you breaking, you're not being in your comfort zone. It is your learning zone. So that's where I am right now with the comfort here in this.
So earlier I heard a word called steady mood. Now we're using another word called learning zone.
Okay.
And then we also, somewhere you said you need to have fun. How is all this connecting?
I would rather put the learning zone first. Okay. Because that has a larger impact on me today with respect to my life. So I would rather take the learning zone. The mood and the fun part of it is a subset to that. Okay, because the learning can actually in both ways. Some things might require certain mood, right? So you're aware about my hobbies of watching a movie, and it's never been just a hobby. It's always something to do with it. But at a drop of a hat, I can get into a movie, right? That doesn't happen with the book. So that will take its own time, and that's the only change I'm calling from a mood perspective. right? Uh, I learn a lot from movies. I learn from books also, but learning from a book seems to be coming out very more serious in nature rather than the movie learning that I actually get. And since movies have been a part of my life already, I kind of it's a running version in the whole process. So that is where I would like to very clearly call out where the learning zone is, what the mood and the fun I'm actually talking about from a relation perspective. I hope I've answered your question.
Sure. And so what I'm hearing from you is that at some level you understand that what happens for you in movies, because of it being part of your life, it has its own way of learning for you, and it just happens for you. Whereas in terms of this, it is more like is study mood that needs to be created.
Yes, you could say that. Yes, you could say that. It's a learning mood, or the easiness of me to learn something from a visual format compared to a reading format is not in the realm at this particular point of time because I'm not used to it. So I'm just getting there. Maybe there will be a time, say, if I follow this practice without breaking it, maybe around 3-4 years down the line, I might be feeling the same way as how I watch a movie. The book also will become a very easy part of my life. But it might take that much longer time because I'm trying to break something of my old comfort zone, move into a new learning zone.
Sure.
Right? I just presume that this learning zone is now going to very soon become my comfort zone. I just believe that. When it's going to happen, I don't know. But I think I will get there slowly.
Okay. So you want yourself to move into uncomfortable zones as a process of your life as of now.
Yes, yes.
And you're looking to move into comfort zone of this learning.
Right. I'm looking to move into comfort zone of this learning. No, I'm not looking to move into that. I'm just believing that it will fall into the comfort zone at a later point of time and new learning zone will get created where I will move into, which might require for me to maybe read 3 books a week. Okay, and for which I might have to put it into a schedule and blah, blah, blah. So there, the whole process might actually kind of get into a new learning zone because that's even more of a comfort zone than I'm actually breaking. Right? It's a process of my own self-discovery, Rajat. And that's how I'm seeing this happening today.
So you're talking about self-discovery, and you were talking about you having an opinion.
Okay. Right. I'm talking about self-discovery and I'm talking about me having an opinion. Okay. So there, what I'm saying is, when you generally learn a topic, you would want to actually have some of your own thoughts coming into it, right? Some of your own ways of learning that particular topic. And things that you have come from with your experience and whatever it is might create some form of a knowledge with you. That is opinion to me. Okay. The self-discovery part is more to do with realizations about myself, the way I might apply these topics in my real life in some format. I don't know. Some format I don't know. My sharing with someone about these topics once I have completed it, making a difference to them in their lives, could create some form of self-discovery for me about my own ways of sharing with people, right? And that's also coming from a more of a career need at this particular point of time, if you have to really ask me, because I'm in that zone right now where I'm learning new things and imparting it to other people in various different ways. So it's coming from that as a need. So that's the self-discovery space I'm kind of talking about. So I'm able to demarcate these two in this particular manner right now.
Okay. And how important are these for you, the self-discovery and the opinion? And something else I heard was about sharing and making a difference in somebody else's life.
Okay, I think all three are very important for me today. My opinions are more to do with my personal enrichment, if I have to call it. So that's coming from there. Sharing is more of an attribute that I have. I like to not just hold on to something what I have. I'd like to kind of go ahead and see, if I could create a sharing space and share it with people, right? And understand more about them, have a learning experience, exchange thoughts and ideas. It's coming from there, the sharing. And the third part about self-discovery is a very, maybe it's coming from a very spiritual need that I already have right now, where I've been trying to rediscover myself on many areas, and that's coming from there. So I would rather put all these three in a very important area for me. I think all three go together, with the self-discovery taking the maximum importance.
Okay. I just want to check with you. Mm-hmm. Are we moving in the right direction?
Yes, from a discovery perspective, exploration perspective, yes. Yes, because I'm just trying to figure out which is most important, right? More on the path of creating a schedule or putting it into an easy, multiple topics at the same time. So yeah, I think from that particular basis, I think we're good. We're good.
And as you're figuring this out in terms of most importance now, what's coming up?
I'm still on the easy path right now. Mm-hmm. It's okay, big deal. Do not have to put too much of pressure onto. I mean, don't take too much hassle. You've started something; it will fall into place. It will take its own time. So there's no rush, and that's definitely kind of coming up at this time.
Okay. So while you're getting that sense in this moment,
right?
I'm wondering if you want to explore the other side.
On the learning zone, yes. Sorry, not on the learning zone, on the schedule. Creating it as a schedule, putting it into a charter. Yes, I would want to explore that right now. Let's look at that. If I put the schedules and say that I'm going to complete so many topics in a week and start putting it into a schedule and creating it, I would definitely accomplish a lot more. I would be able to, even if I continue with the same process of multiple topics and have to read at least 2 paragraphs a day for each topic, I think I would be accomplishing a lot more. I think it really will move me towards the goal of completing a certain book or completing a particular topic faster, and I can get there sooner. All that will definitely happen. The disadvantage that I actually see is a loss of sense of freedom. What would I don't know how to put this, but it will become very academic as a process. And while I have nothing problem with being academic, I think I believe in the concept of learning should happen in its own natural course. Okay, here is the point. I think it creates an unnatural course for me to learn. Okay, it's not natural of me to create a schedule to read, right? So it creates an unnatural version,
Mm-hmm.
for me to put it into a schedule and actually start reading from that. It might create a pressure in me, which I don't think I might like it. It might create a need for me to race against time, right? And when I spoke about the splinter, I think the splinter will increase in size, and I don't think I would want to do that. so right. It's very enticing to know that I will be able to accomplish more and reach certain goals, which is what the world is actually talking about most of the time. But I guess I might take away the naturality out of it, and that's not leaving me in a good, comfortable field. So I think I'm going to stick to my multiple topics at the same time area right now.
Okay. How strong is that sense in this moment?
With the way from where I started to where I am right now, I think I'm maybe moved 2 points above on one side, but it's not like a humongous change. Because in this process, I've started questioning one more point: is it the topics and reading a book with a schedule which is bothering you, or is it the schedule which is bothering you, right? Of putting it into a schedule. Because there are other areas of my life where I do talk about schedules to others and how important it is and all of that. I see, that's what I'm saying. For that, I do have my own answers, that I have been able to put certain things into schedule, and I'm doing pretty good at that. Right? I think. Okay, no, I'm pretty much convinced that I would want to stick to multiple topics at the same time right now, at least at this conversation. I think I'll go with that.
Okay. Is it okay if I challenge you in this moment?
Sure.
So while you are convinced of this side of the things, we also talked about you becoming uncomfortable. And this scheduling and uncomfortable.
Scheduling is definitely going to move me away from more of my current comfort zone and move into a more uncomfortable zone. I'm not denying that at all. But I think there is a last bit of uncomfortable zone from my previous comfort zone, which I've created by reading books.
Okay.
Is still there. And that uncomfortability has not gone away and become comfort zone yet. Okay. So I think I'm moving that circumference a little more towards the comfort zone. So once everything falls into the comfort zone, I think at that time I'm actually going to jump into the schedule mode. So, okay, there is my aha moment right now. I think I've realized that I will continue with this till the time I am comfortable to. No, I'm not comfortable. I am somewhere ready to put this into a schedule. Because I feel it would be a nice testing ground for me to move into that uncomfortable zone of putting it into a schedule. So there is a maybe a like 10-15% of that previous uncomfortable zone still existing. I would want to go with that because I've not set right that as of yet. It's not that all the multiple topics I'm also able to pick it up at any time, because there are some gaps also which is getting created. So I have to set right those first. And when there is an opportunity for me to pick up a book and read 2 chapters, there is already a brand new movie calling and I would rather jump into that with the same 2 hours rather than the book, right? So yeah, so maybe that's one thing which I want to change before I move into this.
Okay. And how will you know that the things have been set right?
When I think I will be in a position to park my thought process of maybe doing something else other than reading a book, and take reading a book as the time that I will do. So, for example, I do a lot of reading on general topics in the night before I go to sleep, right? Or right before, after I've actually had dinner, right? Instead of me reading multiple topics just to keep myself abreast, or maybe, just my catch-up time with news and all of that, I can kind of move that into reading a book at that time. I think it might, where I have made the choice, that moment where I made the choice that, hey, you're picking up the news right now, why don't you read a chapter? And very naturally, I'm able to pick up a book rather than take this and not do this very unnaturally. I think that will be a zone where I will start moving to the next comfort zone of putting it into a schedule.
I'm wondering, if you were to summarize this session, what will you summarize it as?
Right. So I think the topic was around my book reading habit. I had two versions of these book reading habit with me, which I had a dilemma on. Is one, I want to improve on the book reading habit, but I've been reading multiple topics right now in one particular point of time, and it was kind of leaving me with a not so good feeling of accomplishing reading or completing a book. In comparison to me wanting to kind of see if I could start putting maybe a schedule and take one particular topic, finish it thoroughly, read them thoroughly, finish it, and move on to the next one. And that might kind of see a larger impact or a need for me. So our conversation today was to explore those areas. Where I seem to have landed right now is I seem to have realized that I moved away from an old comfort zone of not reading a book at all to at least reading multiple books at this time. And there seems to be a little bit more of a uncomfortable zone which I need to cross before in what I'm doing right now, so that book reading can become a comfort zone, that it will be part of my life. And I also realized that scheduling seems to be even more at a higher level of uncomfortable zone than where my current level is. So I would rather want to set this right first before I jump into that. Something that's telling me today that eventually I might move into the scheduling zone. But I think I will go with my multiple topics reading today, rather than getting into the scheduling zone at this particular point. So that's my inference today.
Sure. Thank you for summarizing this.
Yeah.